Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you're all having a great day because today we're going to be going over some Nintendo fanboy copium, and today's copium has to do with none other than emulation. So why are fanboys coping over emulation today? Well, somebody made a post on Twitter where they were enjoying some Nintendo games on their Steam Deck, and this really upset Nintendo fanboys who decided to basically harass him. This right here is the post that started everything. It comes from Jake Randall, and Jake Randall says, "The Nintendo GameCube library is the reason I own a Steam Deck." Now this got over 500,000 views, and it got a decent amount of comments and retweets. The number is much higher today than it was yesterday when I took this screenshot, but let's go ahead and look over some of the replies because there's some pretty funny ones. Johnny Hickman replies to Jake's tweet saying, "I'm assuming this is illegal," and Jake replies back to Johnny Hickman saying, "Nope." Kaznius replies to Jake saying, "This shit looks lame. Just play on OG hardware for the authentic experience. Nothing beats old school controllers." Before we go ahead and get into Kaznius's reply, the fanboy, I would like to point out that he said no, it is not illegal, meaning he redumped his own games. At least if we can take his word for it. Now on to Kaznius. What if he doesn't want to play on original hardware, huh? What if he wants to play his games in a portable form? Who the hell are you to tell him how he can and cannot play his own video games? I hate people like this, dude. Like, they act like they're the video game police. Like, it's not your fucking game, don't worry about how he plays it. You're perfectly fine playing your game on original hardware, but maybe he wants to play on an emulator where he has access to tons of benefits like save states, fast forward hotkeys, texture packs, mods, cheat codes. But oh wait, I forgot, Kaznius is the literal fucking king of gaming and he will dictate how you play. Ice in My Veins replies to Jake's original post saying, "Welp, now you don't need it anymore since GameCube is coming to the Switch." But GameCube games aren't really coming to the Switch, they're only coming to the online subscription service, meaning you can't really buy the games and own them. On the Steam Deck, the games are there forever and you don't have to worry about a subscription to play the games. Nintendo should bring back something called Virtual Console that they used to have, where you could actually buy like older retro games, and they were pretty cheap, and you used to own them. Like, I remember on the Nintendo Wii, I could buy like, what was that game I bought? I think it was Paper Mario for the Nintendo 64, and I could just boot it up from my Wii and I owned the game. And there was a shit ton of retro games you could do that with on like the Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS. But now you just get a slop online subscription because you will own nothing and you will be happy. But Jake replies to Ice in My Veins saying, "Not every single game. Can't fast forward them or edit my saves on Switch too." River replies to Jake saying, "If you don't want to play games properly, that's a you problem." I mean, what are you gonna do about it? The only person with a problem here is you, River. You're the one crying over how he chooses to play his video games. He's just gonna ignore you and continue playing his games how he wants. And Glorious Kev replies saying, "Properly? There's a wrong way to play GameCube games?" Yeah, like exactly. How are you gonna tell this guy he's playing his games wrong? They're his. Bad Hombre replies, "At Nintendo America." Bro, imagine being a fucking rat, dude. Dude just enjoys being a snitch. Dude wakes up every single morning just excited to be a rat. And the worst part about all of this is even if Nintendo saw this guy because of this tweet, what would the snitch get from it? Absolutely nothing. Jay Tweets replies, "Pirates should be thrown in jail." I mean, first of all, he didn't even pirate the game, and second of all, imagine being such a deranged fanboy that you think someone deserves to be thrown in a fucking jail cell because they emulated a game that's like 23 years old. Even if he did pirate it, who cares? If he went out and bought secondhand, that's only going to help the reseller. None of the devs are getting that money. What a rational person, man. But now we're just gonna go ahead and go over some of the quote retweets because there's some pretty funny ones. Juiceman Vaughn says, "Typical Steam Deck user activity, to be honest. If it wasn't for Nintendo games, what would most of these people even be doing with that machine? You can tell he's honestly just fucking pissed that this machine has the ability to play more Nintendo games than his Switch. But to answer his question, I don't know, maybe play one of the 89,000 different Steam games that he could play on his Steam Deck. Guy with 330k is promoting theft and piracy. Wait, you mean simply using and showing off emulation is actually supporting piracy and theft? You better go tell that to all the Nintendo YouTubers that record themselves playing the old school classic Nintendo games with their Nintendo Online service. Oh yeah, and apparently the Switch 2 is going to use emulation to play Switch 1 games. You better not show it off, because according to this guy, you're supporting theft and piracy. Or wait, is it only okay when the multi-billion-dollar company that you simp for does it? Steam Deck would be useless without Nintendo emulators. It's so much inferior to the Switch 1, let alone the 2. Ah yes, the Steam Deck is inferior to the Switch 1, never mind the fact that it's so much more powerful, and has access to 89,000 Steam games, whereas the Switch has like 3,000 games. Plus all the games on different storefronts. Oh yeah, and access to a Switch emulator to play Switch games, as well as every other Nintendo console to ever exist. The copium is strong with that tweet. At Nintendo Canada, at Nintendo America, at Nintendo, at FBI. This dude tagged the FBI, there's no way. And of course he has a Pokemon profile picture. Dude thinks the FBI is gonna care that this dude is playing Ocarina of Time on a fucking Steam Deck. You know, I'm no LOLtuber or anything like that, but if I had to guess, the FBI probably has more, you know, pressing issues to take care of than some guy playing a game that came out in like 1993 on a Steam Deck. Nah, who am I kidding? This guy's obviously right, and the FBI is literally about to break this guy's door down right now and arrest him for playing Ocarina of Time. Emulation nerds fill any device they can with 4 billion games so they can post a video of it to Twitter and then only actually play like 2 of them. Definition of infinite games but no games. Ah yes, he's the nerd and not the person crying over 20-year-old games. Ugly machine for Bro, there's no way this is real. You can tell they got absolutely nothing at this point, and they're just crashing out. Now, there's quite a few based takes I want to go over, so let's go ahead and get into those, like the people that are not brain dead. The fact that people are mad about this tweet just proves we need a legally mandated log off Twitter day. Yeah, if they put that much time that they spent, you know, raging over emulation into something else in their life, they would get great results. When will emulation users stop being so fucking based? Never. They're trying to ratio him because his console can do too much. But the rest of the replies are very similar to these, so I don't really think there's much point in going over all of them. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike and a mean comment, and yeah, I'm out.